As the female lead made her way home, some unknown force transported her into the world of a novel she had read. Following the storyline, she found herself in the unfortunate role of a supporting character with a tragically short lifespan, destined to be downtrodden by everyone. Here, she also encountered the man of her dreams. To see how the female lead changes this dramatic tale, watch on with wide eyes. On a clear, moonlit night in a certain room, a young woman drowsily opened her eyes. She looked around the unfamiliar room. A sharp pain jolted her awake. Where was this? Why did her body ache so much? The voice of a man in green robes, squatting over her, echoed relentlessly. "Junior sister, why did you have to do this?" He sneered, gazing at the unconscious woman on the floor. "Did you really think you could marry the man you love? With your crippled constitution, you dare to injure me? You're practically courting death." The man in green gripped her chin, a cruel smile twisting his lips. "Let me tell you, if you marry Tuesday Yuyan, you should know he's a sinister and ruthless man. No one dares to cross him." The female lead struggled, but her body was completely devoid of strength. She gritted her teeth, confused. "Marry Tuesday Yuyan? What is this idiot babbling about?" The man's filthy hand slowly reached for her neck, his mocking voice continuing. "Compared to suffering with him in that dark, lightless place, wouldn't it be better to come with me, my dear?" As his hand inched closer, she suddenly snapped awake. With a swift, practiced movement, she drew the sword at her hip. A sharp sound sliced through the air. The man in green, caught completely off guard, was struck. The female lead, pushing herself up with her aching body, stumbled back. Her eyes, sharp and filled with a chilling, killing intent, coldly spat out a single word: "Get out." Across from her, the man in green trembled with rage, his hand dripping blood. Clutching his injured hand, his face darkened with fury, he roared, Van, how dare you attack me?" He quickly fabricated an accusation. "This is outright rebellion. I will report this act of harming a fellow disciple to the sovereign. Let's see how he deals with you." With that, he stormed off, clutching his wound. Before leaving, he spitefully sealed the door, trapping her inside. Alone at last, the female lead finally had a chance to properly examine her surroundings. Looking around the strange room, she wondered, "What in the world? Where am I? I remember being on my way home after the competition." Her gaze fell upon the sword in her hand. She stared, bewildered, at her reflection in the polished metal. Seeing her reflection, panic seized her. She touched her face, her voice filled with alarm. "These clothes, this face. What is going on? Where have I been transported to?" Suddenly, a splitting headache seized her. A stream of memories gradually surfaced in her mind. According to these memories, she realized the original owner of this body was Yun Wan, a disciple of the Hahuan Palace. Born with the physique of a supreme cauldron, she was a prodigy in the Hahuan Palace's cultivation arts. Any cultivator within a 10-meter radius of her would experience a boost in their cultivation. Furthermore, dual cultivation with her could propel others to even higher realms. However, her exceptional physique and beauty had brought her nothing but trouble and hardship. Her own father had tricked her into marrying the mysterious villainous boss, Tuesday Yuyan. On her way to Tuesday Yuyan, she had the misfortune of being captured by the insignificant man from earlier who intended to take advantage of her. Although Yun Wan possessed the physique of a supreme cauldron, she also had a peculiar constitution that leaked energy. This was the reason why all the cultivation energy she absorbed would dissipate like an endless abyss. This very trait would later lead to her descent into darkness. She would exploit this peculiarity to exact revenge on the men who had wronged her, draining their cultivation completely. After piecing together these fragments of information, she clutched her head and lamented her fate. "Good heavens, I've become the female supporting character with the same name from the novel I just finished reading. Seriously? So, I'm the Black Widow in this world of cultivators? That author really knows how to write, doesn't he?" The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. Just thinking about the book made her furious. "I have to find that book and rip it to shreds. Maybe then I can get back to the modern world," she roared in frustration. "Whoever wants to be this supreme cauldron can have it. I don't want it." Her anger continued to surge. The mere thought of the book infuriated her. She had to find it and tear it apart. Perhaps then she could return to the modern world. She yelled into the gloom, "I don't want to marry that Tuesday Union guy, and I certainly won't become a plaything for those men. Even if I've transmigrated into a tragic supporting character, I'll find a way to live well, no matter what." Hearing the growing commotion outside, she knew she had to escape this place first. Scanning the room, she spotted a pouch lying on the floor. Curiosity piqued. She picked it up and emptied its contents. She then took a cord from somewhere and tied her hair back neatly in a modern style, muttering to herself, "I don't want to marry that Tuesday Yuan or whatever his name is, and I definitely won't become a plaything for those men. Even if I've transmigrated into a tragic supporting character, I'll find a way to live well, no matter what." Glancing around the room, she noticed a pouch lying on the floor. Intrigued, she picked it up and poured out its contents. From the pouch tumbled a variety of items. First, a Lioli mirror, which served as a communication device, functioning like a phone. Next, a Ling Yin, capable of altering her appearance and suppressing her spiritual energy for a short period. Then, several sets of clothes, a few spirit stones, and some usable paper talismans. There were also some other miscellaneous, less important items. After examining the uses of these objects, she couldn't help but feel disheartened. This is truly pathetic. There's nothing here that can help me save my life. After a moment of contemplation, she picked up the Ling Yin. With a swift motion, Yunwan activated the Ling Yin, placing it against her forehead and murmuring an incantation. Instantly, countless streams of light radiated from the Ling Yin, enveloping her body. A resounding boom echoed, and Yunwan's appearance transformed. She examined herself in the mirror, a wave of satisfaction washing over her as she saw her now ordinary features. With newfound confidence, she thought, "This way, even if I go into the mountains, no one will recognize me. It'll be much safer." The commotion outside grew closer, the sounds of countless people rushing towards the room. A voice called out, "Master has given us permission to do as we please with Yunwan. Tonight, brothers, feel free to experience what a top-grade furnace is like." Ha ha ha. Yunwan's face paled, a mixture of panic and tension gripping her. Why are they back so soon? Without a moment to spare, she snatched up a talisman and began to read. Her mind raced as she chanted the spell. "Take me away from here, quickly, anywhere." Despite her frantic pleas, the talisman remained inert. Panic escalated. Faster, faster. She watched as the barrier at the door began to dissipate, signaling the imminent arrival of the men outside. Just as despair threatened to consume her, the talisman in her hand burst into flames. The man in green, along with his companions, flung open the door, anticipating a night of revelry. His eyes widened in disbelief, unable to comprehend the sight before him. The room contained only the clothes and jewelry Yunwan had been wearing. The space was otherwise empty, devoid of her presence. The man in green roared in frustration. "Where is she? Where did she go?" The radiant light, carrying Yunwan, sped towards a distant mountain. In mere heartbeats, she was transported to the base of a tree. Finally able to breathe, Yunwan clutched her chest, relief washing over her. "Phew, I'm glad I escaped. That was close." She surveyed her surroundings, then began to walk through the dark forest alone. Lost in thought, she stumbled over something on the ground, a snapping sound echoing through the silent night. The noise instantly attracted the attention of something dangerous in the woods. Screeching cries pierced the air, sending shivers down her spine. Too terrified to look back, she whispered, "What was that sound?" Fear gnawed at her as she continued, her eyes darting nervously around her, bracing for the worst. "This forest is terrifying. I don't even know how far I've traveled. What if they catch up?" Suddenly, she stopped, a thought striking her. All right. She reached in her pocket and retrieved the Luli mirror. I remember reading in the novel that the Luli mirror is a place for distributing quests. With that thought, she quickly examined the mirror in her hand. A stream of information appeared before her eyes. Reward offered for finding the Emperor's favorite. Protect the 3 kilometers radius of Nintan City. Don't miss out. Don't fall for the trap. My senior brother, Li Xianyu, a disciple of the Three Swords sect, went down the mountain 3 days ago and has vanished without a trace. Anyone who has seen my senior brother, please contact me. A reward is offered. The more she read, the more disheartened she became. Ugh, what is all this nonsense? Quickly adapting, she typed out a quest request on the Luli mirror. Large reward offered for a powerful escort. Reward details will be discussed upon meeting. Almost as soon as she sent the message, someone accepted the quest. An image of a mountain appeared on the mirror, along with a notification. Your quest has been accepted. The acceptor is currently 100 kilometers away. Please be patient. Seeing that someone had accepted the quest, Yin Wan hugged the Liuli mirror excitedly, sitting down to wait with a joyful heart. Ordering a taxi in the cultivation world? I have to admit, that's pretty cool. While waiting for a ride, she decided to meditate to kill time, settling into a quiet stillness. She meditated until she grew bored, shifting from sitting to lying down, checking the Liuli mirror to see if her rescuer was any closer. After a while, seeing no change, she paced back and forth, restless and fidgeting. Time trickled by with agonizing slowness. Only a few hours had passed, but it felt like a century to Yin Wan. Her face darkened with frustration. "What kind of lousy taxi service is this?" she muttered angrily. "I heard rumors that cultivators can travel 1,000 meters a day in this world. This guy's been going for so long, and he's only covered 24 kilometers. Is he crawling? Does he even know I'm waiting to be rescued?" Lost in her irritated thoughts, she remained blissfully unaware of the danger creeping closer. Behind her, a wolf watched with hungry, predatory eyes. Yin Wan, still oblivious, sighed. "Forget it," she thought. "There's no point in rushing. It won't make him get here any faster." Suddenly, a drop of warm saliva landed on her shoulder, sending a shiver of unease down her spine. Suspicion prickling her skin, she slowly turned to see what was behind her. The sight that met her eyes froze her in place, her body turning to stone. Looming over her was an enormous white wolf, its razor-sharp teeth bared in a menacing snarl. Yin Wan trembled uncontrollably, her terror mounting as the wolf's jaws edged closer. "Oh gods," she thought, "this can't be happening." The wolf opened its mouth in a deafening howl, dwarfing Yin Wan, who looked as though she could be swallowed whole at any moment. Just as she braced for the inevitable, the Liuli mirror flashed, displaying a message. "Your cultivator has arrived. The quest can now begin." Still dazed, Yin Wan felt a hand grasp hers, pulling her away from the wolf's gaping maw. Her rescuer, without a word, placed her behind him. Yin Wan felt a sense of security emanating from his broad back, a solid bulwark against the looming threat. The young man drew his sword, holding it protectively in front of him, his eyes, cold and sharp, fixed on the white wolf. "Get out of here," he commanded. As if under some unseen pressure, the wolf, which moments before had been so ferocious, whimpered and backed away, its bravado melting under the young man's icy gaze. It turned tail and fled, disappearing into the forest. Watching the wolf retreat, Yin Wan clutched her chest, her heart still pounding. "Finally," she breathed. "I'm saved." The young man, his face still impassive, glanced at her. "Are you the one who called for an escort?" he asked, his voice flat. Only now did Yin Wan get a clear look at her savior. Struck by his handsome features, she stared, utterly captivated. An awkward silence hung in the air. When she didn't answer, the young man remained silent as well. After a moment, Yin Wan finally regained her composure. Gazing at him with undisguised admiration, she introduced herself. "This humble one is Wan," she said. "I've lost my way and, having a low cultivation level, require an escort. May I ask how I should address you?" The young man, arms crossed, his face expressionless, replied, "My surname is Ta, given name Thin Van." He looked at Yin Wan, then asked, "Where do you wish to go?" His abrupt question caught her off guard, leaving her completely speechless and unsure how to respond. Truthfully, she had no idea where she should go or where she belonged. Her face was vacant, lost in thought and calculations. "Right, where should I go?" she mused. "I only wanted to escape from there, but I don't know where to go now. Oh, that's right. I need to find a reputable sect and become a disciple." This thought was like a beacon, illuminating her mind. Yes, I remember the book saying something very insightful. In the south, there's Kolwan. In the north, there's Tin Noyet. These were the two largest sects mentioned in the book. Kolwan was even the leading sect among the four great sects, so its influence was widespread. Besides swordsmanship and alchemy, it also covered talisman cultivation and shadow cultivation. Recalling the image of the man she was originally supposed to marry, she propped her chin in her hand, lost in contemplation. Furthermore, there's a karmic connection with the original host at Tin Noyet. I must stay away from there. Having made up her mind, she declared, "Fellow Taoist, could you take me to Kolwan? I wish to go there." The young man maintained his aloof demeanor, adding, "But there's a fee." Seeing his emphasis on payment, Yin Wan nervously asked, "How much would be acceptable?" The young man suddenly flicked his wrist. A gleaming silver sword materialized before Yin Wan. He replied indifferently, "Ask it." Yin Wan's eyes lit up at the sight of the intricate patterns on the sword. Unable to contain her admiration, she exclaimed, "This This sword is so beautiful. What's its name? The young man, eyes half closed, responded nonchalantly, Supreme Good Sword. Yin Wan, not understanding, scratched her head awkwardly. Yeah, I know it's a good sword, but I'm asking for its name. He patiently repeated, Supreme Good Sword. Yin Wan remained clueless. What I mean to ask is, seeing that she still hadn't grasped his meaning after 2 attempts, the young man lost his patience and said in a low, firm voice, its name is Supreme Good Sword. Yin Wan felt as if crows were circling her head. She finally understood the sword's name. Embarrassed, she pulled 5 spirit stones from her pouch and asked hesitantly, avoiding the sword's gaze, would 5 spirit stones be enough? Seeing the meager offering, the sword remained motionless, seemingly unimpressed. Yin Wan emptied her entire fortune, tears welling in her eyes. Then, how about 8 spirit stones? No, wait, 10 spirit stones. Is this enough? Sniffle. These are all high-quality spirit stones I picked on the mountain. The sword finally reacted. Just as she finished speaking, it unsheathed itself and soared into the air, leaving Yun Wan astonished. Seeing the sword hover near her, she asked uncertainly, Is this? The young man answered her unspoken question. It's for you to get on. Realizing the sword had accepted her offer, Yun Wan's face brightened. Okay, she replied cheerfully. She clumsily climbed onto the sword. Seeing no reaction from the young man, she turned and asked, Are you sitting behind me? The young man, speechless at her awkward position, could only stare. Exasperated, he walked over and effortlessly lifted her onto the sword properly. With an air of authority, he stepped onto the sword behind her, and they began to ascend. A mixture of fear and excitement coursed through Yun Wan as she clung tightly to his shoulders and yelled, Whoa, this is amazing. She cautiously opened one eye and peered down below. The sight of the majestic mountains before her left Yun Wan awestruck. Where are we? She breathed. It's breathtaking. Ta Thin Van, standing ahead, seemed dubious. You don't know where this is? He asked. I sort of wandered here by accident, she stammered. So you don't even know this is Mount Ka Vu? Yun Wan, her face a picture of innocence, fabricated an excuse. I was tied up and brought here, you know. Ta Thin Van listened, clearly unconvinced, and fell into a thoughtful silence. Meanwhile, Yin Wan continued to gaze at the scenery, sighing. This mountain is truly enormous. How long will it take us to get out of here? He replied dismissively with a single word. 1. 3 giant question marks popped into Yun Wan's head. What's going on? She thought wildly. Suddenly, she felt the sword beneath their feet vanish. The sensation of plummeting through the air sent a scream ripping from her throat. Her panicked cries echoed through the mountains. While Ta Thin Van landed with effortless grace, Yun Wan face-planted. Clutching her aching body, she wailed, I paid you. Why didn't we just fly straight to the Ko Wan sect? Sheathing his sword, Ta Thin Van calmly explained, 10 spirit stones covers 3/10 of the journey on this sword. The other 7/10 is my fee for escorting you to Ko Wan on foot. 10 spirit stones, and you expect a full flight? A direct flight is a different price altogether. Yun Wan seethed, barely managing to contain a torrent of curses. Silently fuming, she raised her middle finger. This guy's a total rip-off artist, she thought. Why doesn't he just rob me outright? Noticing her gesture and the simmering fury in her eyes, he approached and inquired, What does that finger mean? Seeing his ignorance, she plastered a sweet smile on her face and lied without a flicker of hesitation. Oh, it means thank you. His next move, however, was like a bucket of ice water. The young man, a quick study, raised his own middle finger in response, replying with nonchalant politeness. You're welcome. Yun Wan, hoisted by her own petard, choked back a metaphorical mouthful of blood. And so, they began their trek to the Ko Wan sect. Despite walking for an hour, Yun Wan realized they hadn't strayed far from their initial starting point. After a while, they stopped to rest. Shivering from the cold and exhaustion, Yun Wan hugged herself. This body I've transmigrated into is ridiculously weak, she lamented internally. She had Ta Thin Van's fire. Hesitating for a moment, but unable to bear the biting cold any longer, she pointed at the flames and asked, Ta Thin Van, could you possibly share a little fire with me? His eyes snapped open. He fixed her with a chilling stare and uttered a cryptic phrase. 5 thieves reside within the heart. Their actions manifest in the heavens. The universe resides within the heart. All transformations arise from within. Yin Wan was utterly baffled. What are you talking about? She asked. Ta Thin Van closed his eyes again, leaving her with a single instruction: seek enlightenment yourself. Yunwan froze, a flicker of understanding dawning in her eyes. Is he teaching me? Straightening her back, Yunwan placed her hands on her thighs and closed her eyes, striving to comprehend Ta Thin Van's words. She softly repeated his cryptic message: 5 thieves reside within the heart. Their actions manifest in the heavens. The universe resides within the heart. All transformations arise from within. As she reached the end of the phrase, a multitude of lights began to emanate from her. Moments later, she opened her eyes and, with a flick of her finger, sent a beam of light hurtling towards the pile of firewood. Under Yunwan's influence, the pile of firewood suddenly erupted into a roaring blaze, illuminating the forest in a brilliant light. Seeing her success, she couldn't help but raise her hands in the air and cheer. Whoa, I did it! Ta Thin Van, alerted by the commotion, glanced over at her. His eyes were filled with the image of her bright smile. At that moment, Yunwan resembled a young maiden, brimming with youthful vitality. She beamed with delight. I'm so happy. I've learned the fire-starting technique. Ta Thin Van didn't understand why, but seeing her so joyful brought a subtle smile to his own lips. Across from him, Yunwan observed him with the calculating gaze of a hunter sizing up their prey. Even though this time I've transmigrated into a useless body, she thought, I'm lucky to have found a bodyguard who's pretty decent. As long as I trust Ta Thin Van, I can definitely reach the Kolwan sect safely. The quiet atmosphere was suddenly broken by a loud rumbling from Yunwan's stomach. Blushing, she clutched her hungry belly and stood up, intending to find something to eat. Seeing her abrupt departure, Ta Thin Van asked with concern, "Where are you going?" As she hurried away, she called back over her shoulder, I'm going to find some food. I'll be right back, so don't worry. I can handle this small matter. Just wait here for me." Yunwan searched for a while, but only managed to find a few wild fruits. Disappointment clouded her features. Ugh, why are there only these wild fruits? She looked up, and her attention was immediately captured by the sight before her. In the spiritual spring ahead, a man was bathing. She stared, completely dumbfounded. So late, and someone still bathing in the spiritual spring? The young man was about to undress and bathe when he overheard the rumbling from Yunwan's stomach. Even she was startled by the sound. Clutching the wild fruits in her hands, she began to back away. Of course, the noise had alerted him. The young man's sharp gaze, colder than any blade, flicked towards Yunwan, freezing her in place. With terrifying speed and precision, he flung a leaf towards her. Sensing imminent danger, Yunwan's face paled, and she quickly crouched down. The young man possessed profound inner strength. A single leaf, propelled by his power, cleaved a massive ancient tree in two. A chill ran down Yunwan's spine as she witnessed the sheer force. She felt a surge of gratitude for her narrow escape. If she hadn't dodged in time, she would have been the one split in half. Lost in thought, she suddenly felt the cold steel of a sword against her neck. Now fully dressed, the young man looked down at her and asked in a chilling voice, "Who are you?" This cold and aloof young man was from the Tin Noyet sect. His family name was So. After getting a clear look at the man before her, Yunwan cried out inwardly, "Why have I run into this nemesis again? I've actually met So Lam." She recalled the novel she had read before. This So Lam was the talented male protagonist of the story. He was also the man the original owner of this body had deeply loved and trusted, pouring all her heart and soul into him. But according to the plot, So Lam would exploit her affections and ultimately destroy her, then heartlessly pushed her into the abyss, leaving her soul to be devoured by the demons below, condemning her to eternal unrest. This was the very scene that brought countless readers to tears. This man, who loved life itself, betrayed only Yunwan. He saved her in 3 lifetimes, but not in this one. Before she could figure out how to respond, another voice echoed from behind her. "Who are you?" Yunwan turned to find a young woman standing there, her face a mask of sullen resentment. Yunwan's eyes darted around before she answered nonchalantly, "Oh, I'm just a passerby." The girl scoffed, clearly disbelieving. "A passerby in the middle of the night? Who are you trying to fool? You've been following us, haven't you? Sneaking around like that. You're probably trying to peek at my senior brother bathing." Yunwan paused, the words senior brother sparking a thought. After a moment of reflection, she recognized the girl before her. It was Qin Jian, also a disciple of the Tin Noyet sect. "Oh, I remember now. This is the only female disciple in the Tin Noyet sect, Qin Jian. No wonder she's so unreasonable. She's clearly been brainwashed by that So Lam. Ultimately, she'll meet the same end as me, a side character destined for an early demise. Yun Wan's face twisted in annoyance as she pushed away the sword resting against her neck. You can eat whatever you want, but you can't just say whatever you want. Since when is foraging for fruit in the forest considered stealing? Qin Jian, still suspicious, retorted sullenly, and if it is, keeping her cool, Yun Wan pressed further. Then let me ask you, has your senior brother finished bathing? Of course he has, came the reply. Seeing Qin Jian's unguarded response, Yun Wan continued, Oh, so you saw it with your own eyes? Qin Jian replied smugly. I was standing guard behind him, of course I know. A smile spread across Yun Wan's face, the taste of victory sweet on her tongue. Ah, so you were the one peeking. The realization that she had been tricked dawned on Qin Jian. Her face flushed crimson, caught in her own lie. Pointing at Yun Wan, she turned to So Lam and explained, Senior brother, I wasn't peeking. She's falsely accusing me. She's slandering me. Humiliated, Qin Jian redirected her anger towards Yun Wan. In the middle of nowhere like this, a respectable woman wouldn't be here. You're clearly lusting after my senior brother's looks. Look at yourself. Do you think you're worthy? You think you have a chance? Unfazed by the outburst, Yun Wan calmly retorted. What about being in the middle of nowhere? Aren't you here too? So, does that mean you're lusting after my looks? You've certainly received a proper upbringing, haven't you? Qin Jian's fury ignited, her voice shrill with rage. Damn you, you're talking nonsense. Yun Wan remained unperturbed. You're the one acting recklessly. It was clear Yun Wan was not one to be trifled with. Qin Jian trembled with anger. You're shameless. I wouldn't even want an ugly woman like you. Qin Jian's insult, calling her ugly, stung. Yun Wan fumed, silently ranting. Isn't it bad enough I was cursed with such breathtaking beauty that I had to be magically disguised like this? And I'd rather ogle my handsome bodyguard than waste a single glance on this So Lam. A mischievous glint sparked in Yun Wan's eyes. A plan began to form, and with a subtle smile, she set it into motion, leaving Qin Jian bewildered. Without a word, she sauntered past her. Unsure of Yun Wan's intentions, I watched as she approached So Lam and, with a deliberate flourish, placed her hand on his chest. So Lam, fresh from his bath, stood frozen in surprise, his tunic still damp. 5 distinct handprints now adorned his clothing. Having completed her inspection, Yun Wan curled her lip in disdain. Is this it? This is all the world has to offer? Your senior brother doesn't even have half the muscles of my little scholar. So Lam was utterly dumbfounded by her blunt assessment. No one had ever dared to criticize him so openly. Qin Jian, witnessing her idol being so casually dismissed, was livid. How dare you? How dare you? She shrieked. Qin Jian, unable to contain her fury any longer, lunged at Yun Wan with her sword. You dare take advantage of my senior brother. I'll kill you. The blade was mere inches from Yun Wan's throat when a well-aimed stone sent it flying, narrowly saving her life. So Lam, instantly on guard, drew his own sword and turned sharply, demanding, Who's there? The newcomer, Ta Thin Van, calmly replied, I am a little scholar she spoke of. Yun Wan hadn't realized Ta Thin Van had overheard her earlier remarks. He had been there all along, simply observing. A blush crept up her neck and stained her cheeks. Seeing her flustered state, Ta Thin Van couldn't resist teasing her. He stepped closer, his voice laced with amusement. So was I right? Qin Jian, still bristling with indignation, glared at Ta Thin Van. I don't care who you are. This ugly woman insulted my senior brother, and she will pay. Ta Thin Van's eyes narrowed dangerously at her insolence. Oh, is that so? With that, Ta Thin Van conjured a protective aura, enveloping himself and Yun Wan within its shimmering embrace. His voice dripped with challenge. I'd like to see you try. So Lam, sensing the immense power radiating from Ta Thin Van, realized he was outmatched. Choosing discretion over valor, he stepped in front of Qin Jian, attempting to defuse the situation. This is just a misunderstanding. Please forgive us. Qin Jian, about to protest, was cut short by So Lam. He turned to leave, saying firmly, "Enough. Let's go." Though reluctant, Qin Jian had no choice but to obey. Before departing, So Lam's gaze lingered on the intricate markings of Ta Thin Van's sword. As they walked away, Qin Jian, still fuming, demanded, "Why did you stop me, brother? They were just low-level cultivators. Why should we back down?" So Lam remained silent, his mind preoccupied. They certainly don't give off the aura of low-level cultivators, he thought. The woman, perhaps, is only at the chi refining stage, but that man, he's something else entirely. He'd almost guessed the origins of the sword in Ta Thin Van's hand. If he wasn't mistaken, the sword was the Ta Tuet Kim, the most unique of the four ancient swords. Rumor had it that the sword's owner, still remarkably young, had single-handedly stormed the Van Quat Lang. No one knew what he truly looked like. Two words surfaced in So Lam's mind: Tuesday Yuyan. Could the man he'd just encountered be the legendary Tuesday Yuyan? Yin Wan, seeing the others had gone, tugged at Ta Thin Van's sleeve and murmured, "Thank you for that just now." While Yin Wan was deeply touched by his chivalrous intervention, the humorous young man held up 3 fingers, demanding payment. "Don't mention it. For such a valiant rescue, 3 high-grade spirit stones will suffice." Yin Wan felt like she'd plummeted from the 9th heaven. Infuriated, she flung a wild fruit at his forehead. "You and your constant demands for spirit stones." The scene shifted to Tuka City. Yin Wan and Thin Van entered the city. Looking around, Yin Wan was delighted. This place is truly bustling. Suddenly, something caught her eye. A large crowd gathered ahead. So many people. Could something big be happening? She weaved her way through the throng. Excuse me, coming through. Hot water." Upon reaching the center of the commotion, Yin Wan's face paled, her eyes widening in disbelief as she stared at the image on the wanted poster. She nearly fainted on the spot. Around her, the crowd buzzed with speculation. "I hear the adopted son raised by the venerable one injured a fellow disciple and fled in the night. Don't know if it's true, and they only want him alive? Seems the inner sect will handle this. But that adopted son, he's incredibly handsome." Furious, Yin Wan fumed inwardly. "Damn it, after I was humiliated and abused, my father even declared me his adopted daughter. It's a good thing the original owner of this body is gone. If she saw this wanted poster, she'd die of anger." Yin Wan quietly slipped away, avoiding attention. 2 city guards walked past. One turned to the other. "Looks like we can't find Yin Wan. We'll have to capture that demon first. We must report back to the Venerable One." Yin Wan watched them, thinking he hasn't returned. It seems this isn't a good place to stay. After a moment, she turned to Thin Van, a bright smile on her face. "Ta Xiong, let's pack our things and leave this afternoon. What do you think?" Thin Van, his face impassive, replied, "The 15th today is the day the Ghost Gate opens. It's not advisable to travel." Yin Wan cried out in alarm. "What? Then let's stay here for the night and leave tomorrow. I'm afraid of ghosts." So the two of them went to find a room for the night, hoping to survive until morning. Upon entering the Zilu Inn, they were informed that only one room was left. From upstairs, a shout echoed down. "What?" Yin Wan, her face a mask of disbelief, slammed her hand on the table. "What did you say?" "Only one room left." The innkeeper, startled by her outburst, sighed and replied nervously, "I'm so sorry, honored guest, but every year in the middle of the 7th month, the restless spirits roam. Aside from your party, we've reserved the remaining rooms for disciples of the great sections. There's truly only one room left. Perhaps you could try another inn." Yin Wan clutched her head in frustration. This was the largest inn in Tuka City. If there were no rooms here, there certainly wouldn't be any elsewhere. Lost in thought for a moment, her eyes suddenly snapped open, a flicker of a plan igniting within them. With no other options, Yin Wan turned to Ta Thin Van, her words hesitant as they tumbled out. So, how about we share the room?" Seeing a flicker of apprehension in the young man's eyes, she quickly added, "Don't worry, I won't do anything to you." Ta Thin Van turned to her, his face impassive. "What would you do to me?" he asked. Yin Wan nearly choked on her own exasperation. Was this man genuinely naive, or just incredibly dense? After getting their key, the two entered the room. Yin Wan's eyes widened. Heavens, there's only one bed. Yin Wan plastered a smile on her face. "Brother Ta," she said, "you take the bed. I'll sleep on the floor. Don't stand on ceremony with me. The young man nodded immediately, and so Yinwan lay on the floor while Ta Thin Van, nestled comfortably in the bed above her, began to snore softly. Despair washed over her. 2 tears rolled down her cheeks. He really wasn't standing on ceremony at all. Later that night, as Yinwan slept soundly, oblivious to the world around her, a shadowy female figure appeared beside her. A noise startled Yinwan awake. She opened her eyes and saw the figure slowly approaching. Seeing the figure coming towards her, Yinwan sprang into action. She leaped up, threw the blanket over the figure's head, and began to pummel it relentlessly. "You rotten scoundrel!" she yelled. "How dare you try to take advantage of me?" The commotion woke Ta Thin Van. He sat up and sleepily asked, "Are you sure about that?" Yinwan, still pummeling the figure, replied breathlessly, "I'm hitting. I'm practically exhausted from hitting." She had assumed it was Ta Thin Van trying to grope her, but a glance at the bed revealed him lying there peacefully. Yinwan was taken aback. If it wasn't him, then was it a thief? She looked back at the blanketed figure. That didn't seem right. Even the boldest thief wouldn't choose this moment to steal, would they? So then was it a ghost? Yinwan cautiously reached out and pulled back the blanket. Could it really be? As she lifted the blanket, a single pearly eyeball rolled out. Suddenly, a ghostly figure materialized, its clawed hand reaching towards Yinwan. A mournful voice echoed, "Can you see my eye?" Yinwan shrieked, "A ghost!" Then, her face crumpling, she stammered, I'm so sorry. I accidentally knocked your eye out. Let me pick it up for you." Yinwan began fumbling on the ground, picking up the pearl-like eyeball and fitting it back into the ghost's empty socket. She inserted it the wrong way around, causing the ghost to whimper and cry. Yinwan, flustered, said to the ghost, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Let me fix that. It looks terrible." Just as she was about to try again, poof, the eye in Yunwan's hand shattered. Her face fell. "Oh no, I accidentally broke her eyeball." Yunwan slowly looked up at the female ghost, whose expression remained unchanged. The ghost muttered flatly, "Are you going to keep poking at it?" The female ghost started to inch closer, reaching out to touch Yunwan's face. Yunwan cast a helpless glance towards Ta Thin Van, pleading silently, "Great Lord, save me. I can't take it anymore." Meanwhile, Ta Thin Van, now dressed, sat on the bed with an impassive expression, like a jaded observer watching a play unfold. "I'll just sit here like a lazy dog and watch your little performance." The female ghost continued to run her hands over Yunwan. After half an hour of this with no rescue in sight, Yunwan thought to herself, why isn't he doing anything? Could it be? She wondered if Ta Thin Van was testing her. Suddenly, Yunwan sprang up with surprising force and lunged forward. "Don't worry," she yelled. "I'll definitely fix your face." The ghost, terrified by Yunwan's enthusiasm, thought, "Who asked you to fix it?" What followed was a truly shocking makeover. Yunwan busied herself with the ghost in front of the mirror. "This time, I'm going to give you a makeover that'll break the internet." Ta Thin Van, watching this scene, was speechless. "I give up on this girl." After struggling for a while with the ghost's makeup, Yunwan stood up abruptly and gestured towards Ta Thin Van. "Tuet Keem, my good sword, help me shape this spirit stone into the size of an eyeball." Faced with this bizarre request, the young man remained motionless and silent. It was truly an insult. Never in its existence had the sword been asked to perform such a strange task. Ta Thin Van's sword suddenly began to draw in spiritual energy. The energy slowly flowed into the ghost's eye socket. Yunwan continued applying makeup to the ghost, from her eyes and lips to her cheeks, and even lipstick. Carefully, she placed the newly formed spirit stone eyeball into the ghost's eye socket. "This is the final step. I have to be very careful." After half an hour of exhausting work, Yunwan sighed in relief. "Phew, finally done. Ghost sister, look in the mirror. Aren't you beautiful?" The ghost opened her eyes. One was crimson, the other in normal color, but the overall effect was interesting. The female ghost, seemingly satisfied, touched her face. "You've got guts, mortal. Aren't you afraid of me?" Yunwan chuckled nervously. "Afraid? Of course I'm afraid. If I wasn't, I wouldn't have waited on you hand and foot like this." The ghost leaned in and whispered, "Is that man your husband?" Yunwan shook her head vehemently. "No, absolutely not." The ghost laughed loudly. "Oh, so he's your boy toy then? Got it." Yunwan glanced at Ta Thin Van, her face flushed with embarrassment. Over here, the young man materialized 5 words. Yunwan's male favorite. "Is this it?" The female ghost, seeing Yunwan speechless, continued her teasing. "From the very beginning, I had my eyes on him. I want to drain his vital essence. If you and I have a connection, then I'll spare his life and destroy. The female ghost slowly pulled something golden from her person and offered it to Yunwan. Your hands are so skillful. I still have a few brothers and sisters without eyes. Do you think you could do a bit more? Consider this your payment. Yunwan was utterly taken aback by the ghost's actions. What is this? The female ghost leaned in and whispered, "This is a treasure that makes men stronger. I see your male favorite isn't quite up to par. Looks a bit effeminate. You'll definitely need this to help him boost his power to break through everything." Yunwan, aghast, replied, No, he's quite all right. There's no need for this." Hearing this, the female ghost burst into laughter. Take it. If you keep being so polite, I'll kill you. How cool am I?" Yunwan, pale as a sheet, nodded rapidly. Yes. She took the offered gift, sweat pouring down her face. Hesitantly, she looked up at the female ghost and asked, Sister, one of these prosthetic eyes costs 1 spirit stone. The true value is quite high. I don't have that many spirit stones on me." The female ghost tossed a pouch of spirit stones towards Yunwan. She reached out and caught it. "Is this enough?" Enough. More than enough." The ghost then instructed. "The ghost gate will close at the hour of the rabbit. You should get ready. After you're prepared, come find me at the backwater woods." Ta Thin Van, standing behind them, was utterly bewildered by this exchange. He stood silently, speechless. Yunwan turned and waved towards Ta Thin Van. "Don't just stand there. Come over here and help me." Ta Thin Van cautioned. "Among the 6 realms, only evil ghosts are untrustworthy. Aren't you afraid she'll trick you?" But Yunwan replied confidently, "You don't understand. When it comes to business, success or failure starts with trust. How can we be afraid to act? As the saying goes, fortune favors the bold." Ta Thin Van was speechless after hearing this. Yunwan continued, "Besides, if they try to trick me, aren't you still here?" She looked up at Ta Thin Van. "With Brother Ta here, I feel completely at ease." At Yunwan's words, Ta Thin Van looked at her, seemingly surprised by her trust. Then he chuckled. True enough, the scene shifted to a dark and gloomy forest. Yunwan and Ta Thin Van were now groping their way through the trees. The surroundings were terrifying. Seeing Yunwan's panic state, Ta Thin Van asked, "Are you scared?" Though terrified, Yunwan tried to appear calm. Clinging to Ta Thin Van's arm, she trembled as she replied, "Sister Yingui told me to come here. She must have informed her subordinates. So, there's no need to be afraid. They like me, so what's there to fear?" Hearing Yunwan's words, Ta Thin Van thought to himself, it's true that Yin Gui could steal spirit stones without alerting anyone. Her cultivation is clearly very high. Even encountering a low-level ghost shouldn't be a problem. But the fact that she could pin down such a powerful female ghost and pummel her, that's truly unexpected. Lost in thought, he was startled when Yunwan suddenly cried out, "Oh, it seems like there's something moving over there." A flash of crimson appeared within the gloomy forest. A ghostly voice echoed, "You've arrived." The ghost woman, followed by a retinue of lesser spirits, stepped forward. "Then let us begin," she said. Yunwan whispered to Ta Thin Van, "Later, I'll be selling, and you'll collect the money. If any female ghosts get a little handsy, just bear with it. Remember, don't kill anyone, okay?" And so began a lively exchange. "Are these eyes of yours even usable?" one ghost questioned. "Of course they're usable. Why wouldn't they be?" Yunwan retorted. "And if they aren't, what then? Are you looking for a fight? Just tell me, do you want them or not?" The ghost replied, "I'll take 2 single-pronged ones." Next, while Yunwan was busy handling the eye trade with the ghosts, a flamboyant ghost approached Ta Thin Van, attempting a flirtatious advance. My, what a handsome young man," he simpered. Ta Thin Van, his face impassive, simply barked, "Get lost." Meanwhile, 2 lesser ghosts, having received their eyes from Yunwan, chattered excitedly. Hee, let's show the others our good fortune." The other ghost paused, a flicker of doubt crossing his face. "Brother, something doesn't seem quite right about this." Within a mirror, the scene of the ghostly marketplace was reflected. Cultivator, which sect's disciple has established this demon and ghost trade? Quite the entrepreneur. Cultivator B, well, it's the Wuji sect I'll be. Cultivator, the demon and ghost behind them. That's the Northern Taoist we're looking for. Cultivator D, do we have a location? Cultivator B, Hoshui Forest, Tuku City. Amidst the bustling trade, the ghosts suddenly realized something. Not good. Wu Yin is coming. Run. No sooner had the words left their mouths than the ghosts vanished without a trace. In the blink of an eye, the ghosts were gone, their retreat as swift as lightning. Hearing the name Wu Yin, Yun Wan pondered aloud. Wu Yin, that name sounds familiar. Tom Tal Ting von abruptly grabbed Yun von Scholar. Let's go. As they fled, a sudden flash of light and a resounding boom erupted, blocking their path. Wu Yin, a direct disciple of the Kunlun mountain sect leader, materialized before them. He lunged forward, his sword pointed at Yun Wan and Ta Thin Van. Hand over your ill-gotten gains, he roared. If you know what's good for you, you'll hand them over now. Yun Wan, peering from behind Ta Thin Van, asked incredulously, What did you say? Hand over what? Wu Yin bellowed again. Everything. The word everything sent Yun Wan into a near frenzy. What? Are you robbing us? Everything. This money I earned through my own hard work. What gives you, Wu Yin, the right to extort me? After Yun Wan's outburst, a slightly stunned Wu Yin leveled his sword at them again. In the 6 realms, only demons and ghosts harm sentient beings. You, as disciples of the righteous path, not only fail to eradicate them, but you collude with these evil spirits, and you show no remorse. Yun Wan, still hiding behind Ta Thin Van, yelled back, I think you're the one taking advantage of the chaos. Ta Thin Van, let's get out of here. Ta Thin Van's face remained impassive. His gaze was fixed on the sword in Wu Yan's hand. It was the legendary ancient divine sword, known as the Red Shadow Star. Its blade was incredibly sharp, its body like fire. A single, small burst of its sword chi could shatter a demon's soul, preventing reincarnation for eternity. Truly formidable. Ta Thin Van took a deep breath. He slowly stepped forward and spoke. I'm the Palace Lord of the Wuji Yuan Scripture Palace. I was once an old friend of your master, Xin Tan. By all accounts, you should address me as Martial Uncle. I don't wish to quarrel with a junior like you. Let us simply forget this matter. Upon hearing Ta Thin Van's impressive declaration, the young Wu Yin seemed to turn to stone. Who was Wuji Yuan? A natural-born sword cultivator, already in the nascent soul stage at 100 years old. A peerless genius who had undergone a transformation at the age of 200. Yun Wan, standing behind him, clutched her head in exasperation. Even the demonic path adds an honorific when mentioning Wuji Yuan. Ta Thin Van, you're laying on a bit thick, aren't you? Wu Yin stood speechless, completely stunned. Then he began to try and call Ta Thin Van's bluff. If you are truly Wuji Yuan, then you must be wielding a peerless sword. Draw it, and I will believe you are who you claim to be. As soon as he finished speaking, a heavy silence fell. The group stood motionless for a full half hour, nothing happening. Unable to take it anymore, Yun Wan stepped forward and nudged Ta Thin Van. To show it to him. What are you afraid of? Go all in. Ta Thin Van, his face still impassive, replied, I can't draw it. Yun Wan nearly fainted at his words. Can't draw it? What does that even mean? It was almost laughable. Wu Yin, upon hearing this, burst into uproarious laughter. Wuji Yuan has been in secluded cultivation for 100 years. You hold a fake sword and dare to impersonate him so casually? If you insist on this delusion, then don't blame me for showing no mercy. Seeing Wu Yin preparing to attack, Yun Wan panicked. We're dead. I just remembered. Wu Yin is Wuji Yuan's archenemy. Ta Thin Van has poked a hornet's nest. If he attacks, he'll mince us. We're done for. She scurried over to Ta Thin Van and whispered, What do we do? Do you think you can beat him? What are the odds? Ta Thin Van coldly replied, 10 out of 10. Hearing Ta Thin Van's confident answer, Yun Wan breathed a sigh of relief. I knew it. With the power to repel a demonic beast, how could you lose so easily? Just as she was basking in the thought of their certain victory, Ta Thin Van uttered a sentence that made her blood run cold. 10 out of 10 that I will lose. Yun Wan froze, dumbfounded. What? You said it so confidently, like it was a fact, using the most resolute tone to utter the most cowardly words. You're unbelievable. She cast a despairing glance at Wu Yin. In the novel, Wu Yan's strength is on par with the male lead. He's definitely not someone to underestimate. I shouldn't have expected Ta Thin Van to be able to fight him head on. After thinking it over, Yun Wan resigned herself to the situation. Well, at this point, I guess there's only one thing to do. Suddenly, Yun Wan remembered something. The small, round, golden object the female ghost, Sister Yin Gui, had given her. Yes, she exclaimed, immediately offering the golden pearl to Ta Thin Van. Here, this is a good item. It can make you stronger. Even if you can't defeat him, it can at least help us escape. Ta Thin Van looked at the golden pearl in front of him, a flicker of surprise crossing his face. Tears streamed down Yin Wan's face as she watched Ta Thin Van standing frozen, unmoving. "Don't you think he'll show us any mercy?" she cried. Suddenly, a thick fog enveloped the three of them, the air growing heavy with an eerie presence. The female ghost from before, Sister Yin Gui, reappeared. She looked towards Wu Yin and said, "Little cultivator, you must leave quickly. This illusion of mine can only last for a moment. If you don't leave now, I fear you won't make it." Yin Wan immediately pulled out a talisman, shouted "Go," and set it alight. After the shout, they vanished, leaving Wu Yin standing motionless on the ground, surrounded by the ashes of the burnt talisman. Wu Yin, furious, cursed, "Damn it." After their breathtaking escape, the two found refuge in a cave. "It's thanks to Sister Yin Gui that we're safe now." Yin Wan breathed a sigh of relief. Suddenly, Ta Thin Van stumbled, unable to stand. Yin Wan rushed to his side, supporting him. "Are you all right? Your body is burning up." Ta Thin Van's face was flushed, and he gasped for breath. "Ta Thin Van, are you okay?" she asked anxiously. Ta Thin Van's face was now crimson, and beads of sweat poured down his skin. He pulled at his robes, muttering, "Hot, hot." Seeing his strange condition, Yin Wan moved closer. "Do you feel your cultivation increasing?" she inquired. Ta Thin Van sat down, closed his eyes, and focused his energy, trying to sense any changes. Suddenly, he opened his eyes and looked at Yin Wan. "Who gave you the golden pearl?" he asked, clutching his stomach. "My stomach? Why does it suddenly hurt so much?" Yin Wan replied, "Sister Yin Gui gave it to me." Ta Thin Van froze, speechless, as if about to say something, but then stopped. Alarmed by his reaction, Yin Wan's eyes widened as she watched him closely. Suddenly, realization dawned on her. She gasped. Could the becoming stronger she mentioned be that kind of stronger? She thought, horrified. "Oh my God, the golden pearl makes men stronger, not by increasing cultivation, but as an aphrodisiac." No wonder Sister Yin Gui had that expression. "Oh my God." Panicked, she covered her face with her hands, wailing, "I'm dead. I've made a huge mistake. We're doomed." Blushing furiously, she approached Ta Thin Van. "Duh, Ta Thin Van," she stammered. "I thought it was a treasure to increase cultivation. That's why I gave it to you. I didn't expect it to be like this," she finished, her voice trailing off. Ta Thin Van said, "It's fine. Go outside for a while." Yin Wan hesitated, worry etched on her face. "But, go outside." Ta Thin Van's voice was now hoarse and strained. "Don't worry about me." Yin Wan reluctantly stepped outside the cave, glancing back inside with concern. Even if I wanted to help him, she thought, this body is the Black Widow constitution. Even the slightest arousal will drain his cultivation completely, causing instant death. In the original story, the female supporting character could control herself afterward. Though the method isn't mentioned, if I just try my best to control it, there shouldn't be any problems, right? Yin Wan thought, turned to go inside. She didn't want him to pay the price for her mistake. Inside, Ta Thin Van's face was still flushed crimson. He closed his eyes, trying to regulate his breathing as spiritual energy began to swirl around him. Suddenly, he looked up, thinking, "It's so hot. I can't stand it anymore. If it were before, I could easily force this medicinal power out. But why is it like this now?" He began to reach a critical point. Unable to bear it any longer, Ta Thin Van clutched himself in agony. "Ugh, it hurts so much." He groaned, struggling to endure. Suddenly, a voice called out, "Ta Thin Van." Looking outside, he saw the graceful silhouette of a woman approaching. It was Yin Wan. Her face flushed as she entered. "Perhaps we should cooperate for now," she stammered. Ta Thin Van turned his face away, speaking coldly. "There's no need to force yourself." Yin Wan hesitated, looking at him. She thought, even now, he still wants to endure? If he keeps suppressing this medicine like this, even if he doesn't die, his cultivation will be severely damaged. After much deliberation, seeing no other way, Yin Wan made up her mind. What to do? Just get it over with. Get down to business. Ta Thin Van continued to look away, feigning indifference. After a long while, Yin Wan saw that Ta Thin Van was nearing his limit. He coughed up blood in agony. Ugh! Left with no other choice, Yin Wan decided to take action. She slowly loosened her hair and pulled up her robes. Then, she rushed forward and covered Ta Thin Van's eyes with a sash. As she tied it, she pressed herself against him. Ta Thin Van, having reached his breaking point, lunged forward and embraced her tightly. He pressed Yun Wan against the cave wall, and so they began, their gasps echoing in the confined space. Yun Wan felt a sharp pain. So it's begun. Yin Wan reached up and stroked Tai Thin Van's face, comforting him. It's okay, she whispered in his ear. It's okay, I'll save you. Then, she gently and rhythmically moved with him. Yin Wan thought resolutely, I have to be careful. I can't drain him completely. I have to use the reversing method. Their breathing rose and fell in unison, perfectly synchronized. The redness in Tai Thin Van's face began to subside as the pressure eased. But Yin Wan felt something strange. Why can I feel the spiritual energy moving in his body? Ta Thin Van's hands tightened around Yin Wan. His eyes slowly opened behind the blindfold, and he cried out, Wan. The sword beside them pulsed, drawing in spiritual energy. Yin Wan's cries echoed repeatedly. The cave resonated with provocative sounds that reverberated through the forest. Afterward, Ta Thin Van lay exhausted. Yin Wan closed her eyes and retrieved the sash that had served as a blindfold. Exhausted to the point of death, she muttered, and I didn't even gain any benefit. What a huge loss. Suddenly, he gripped her hand tightly. Ta Thin Van slowly opened his eyes. Yin Wan asked, Brother, are you awake? He sat up and adjusted his clothes. Yin Wan, blushing, turned her face away. Ta Thin Van mumbled, Yes, let me do it myself. What do people normally say after waking up from a nap? I've never done this before, so I'm not quite used to it. Yin Wan was no better off. Damn it, she thought, I don't have any experience with this either. She started to change the subject to avoid the awkwardness. Right, I'm going to find some food. I'll be right back. She vanished like a gust of wind, leaving the young man bewildered and speechless. The sword in Ta Thin Van's hand suddenly stirred strangely. Since his failed transformation, it had never felt so close to him. Unexpectedly, my damaged golden core has also recovered, he realized. He picked up the sword and slowly drew it. Looking at the sword before him, Ta Thin Van's face showed a hint of satisfaction. Still sitting inside the cave, he began to circulate his spiritual energy to see if there were any other changes in his body. 1 month earlier, a month ago, his secluded cultivation for transformation should have gone smoothly. Unexpectedly, a mishap occurred. Unable to withstand the final heavenly tribulation, he not only lost his golden core, but also all of his cultivation. Yet now, he could feel a trace of spiritual energy flowing. His shattered golden core had also mysteriously recovered. Thinking of Yin Wan, Ta Thin Van felt a flicker of infatuation. What's with this girl? He wondered. Half an hour later, while sitting motionless, he suddenly detected movement ahead. It was Yin Wan entering the cave. Smiling brightly, she carried a bowl of food and said, Here, eat something. She placed the bowl in front of Ta Thin Van. He stared at the food, unsure what it was. Seeing Ta Thin Van's reaction, Yin Wan blushed and looked away, a little embarrassed. I know you worked hard last night, so I want to find some food to nourish you, so we can fight again tonight. Just to nourish you. Hearing Yin Wan's words, Ta Thin Van imagined her hunting. He had assumed that, being a woman, she would be delicate. He hadn't expected her to go hunting so early in the morning to replenish his strength. He picked up the bowl. Let me try it, he said. Ta Thin Van brought the bowl to his lips and took a sip. He nearly fainted on the spot. What in the world did she give me? He thought. It's so fishy, unbelievably fishy. But he pretended to be fine. I'll just force this down, he thought, or she'll kill me. Yin Wan asked expectantly, How is it? Is it good? Ta Thin Van turned to Yin Wan. What kind of soup is this? He asked. Yin Wan replied, It's deer soup. Deer? What's a deer? She then began to draw the shape of a deer on the stone for him. You don't even know what a deer is? It looks like this, you goofball. She smiled brightly and looked at Ta Thin Van. Don't worry, she said. I tested it on a fish first. It shouldn't be poisonous. Ta Thin Van replied. That animal is considered unclean. Its internal organs are all teeth, and its entire body has only one piece of tender meat. Which part did you use to make the soup? She smiled and held up a finger. The tail, she said. It's deer tail soup. Ta Thin Van practically turned to stone at Yin Wan's reply. Dead. I made another huge blunder. I should have just caught a rabbit like I planned. Seeing his stunned expression, Yunwan pulled a golden spirit stone from her pouch. Here, eat this first. Here, eat this first. What she'd lost was the storage pouch the demon had given her, already packed with supplies. She'd planned to divide the spoils evenly, but the urgency of the situation had prevented a proper split. She'd only managed to keep a few high-value spirit stones and some life-saving medicinal herbs. Those were worth a fortune. Suddenly, Tontal thin von schmoiled. He drained the bowl of food in one gulp. I'd rather eat this deer than a spirit stone. You eat it yourself. After finishing the bowl, he wiped his mouth with his hand. Nourishing. Yinwan didn't quite understand what he meant. Suddenly, her face flushed crimson, and she turned away angrily. Tot Thin Vin immediately grabbed her arm. I'm going now, he said, catching a deer and getting injured. Where are you going? Yinwan was taken aback by his words. I ate the whole deer in one go. Injured? Where? I clearly killed it with one punch. Ta Thin Van pointed to Yunwan's hand. There was a red rash, an indistinct bruise, and her gait was unnatural. She gasped upon noticing the marks. Clearly, we fought 300 rounds last night, not hunted deer. This silly boy, does he have rocks for brains? Suddenly, Ta Thin Van's face flushed, a sheepish look spreading across his features. He coughed a few times to cover his embarrassment. Turning, he saw Yunwan looking down. This spirit stone is worth a lot. Eating it is a waste. If you don't need it, I'll keep it. Ta Thin Van immediately replied. Don't you want to join the Kunlun sect? Kunlun's recruitment is strict. Even outer disciples need to be at the Qi refining stage. With your current abilities, you'll struggle to pass the first round. You might not even make it past the initial screening. You should cultivate more. Yinwan considered his words and found them reasonable. He has a point. Then I'll give it a try. She sat down, crossed her legs, and placed the package in her lap. After circulating her qi for a while, Yinwan felt it seemed to be working. Heavens! The original story only mentioned that her qi would be revealed during the Song Thursday Nguyen event, not that eating a spirit stone would cause this. This doesn't make sense. The two sat quietly, cultivating. Stay still. I'll try transferring some spiritual energy to you. Yinwan nodded in agreement. All right. Ta Thin Van's hand was even larger than hers. She began to release qi continuously, startling him. Yinwan turned to him, tears streaming down her face. Last night, I realized her constitution is different from ordinary people. Sab, I'm so useless. A sliver of a cultivator's true qi during a breakthrough can equal 100 years of cultivation, let alone someone with pure yang energy like me. A bit of my cultivation was enough to push her to the basic qi refining stage, but she just expelled it. Suddenly, Ta Thin Van turned and asked Yunwan, do you believe in fate? Yunwan replied, of course not. Ton Tao Thin von Schickled. If you want to advance, the first step is qi refinement. Do you remember how you fought that Yin Gui the other day? Yinwan clenched her fists. I punched it, of course. He watched her bashful expression, her embarrassment clear. Yin Gui aren't ordinary beings. Did you really think that little bit of strength could hurt it? Yinwan mumbled. At the time, I just thought you were really angry, so? Her thoughts trailed off, a sudden realization dawning on her. She froze. Turning to Ta Thin Van, she asked, what do you mean? He nodded slowly, confirming her suspicion. Others channel qi into their own bodies. You channel qi into other bodies. Qi harmonizes with the world. Qi merges with form. No one else can get this close. Staring intently at Ta Thin Van, she asked, does that mean body cultivation is possible? That I can advance that way too? He looked at her calmly. Why not? If the heavens won't let you ascend, then shatter the gates of heaven with your fists. Let's see who dares to stop you. And that's the end of this part of the story. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe to the channel for more. Your support is greatly appreciated. Thank you all so much and goodbye.